went back to Dreamborn, and then I had just like, I got like, okay, so what had happened on Dreamborn, right? This was wild. I was talking to one of my clan members in my base about flight system, right? I was talking to the main character because we weren't in Discord. It was kind of like soft talking about them. I was like, oh, I like the Akihabara flight versus the Lady Indrid's flight. And I got ticketed and I lost flight because they said I broke character. And I was like, I was in my base talking to my clan member about a mechanic in the way you have to soft talk about mechanics. I was like, would you have preferred that I like, and I was on stream, by the way. So then I was like, I'm done playing here. I don't need that, because this only happened because I'm a streamer. I didn't break anybody's immersion. I was in my base talking to my clan member about, like, fucking outfits and wings and all sorts of stuff like that. And I was like, I'm good. So I've not been back since. I was like, and then I got like a guilt trip in the ticket. I was like, no, I don't need that. But, you know. Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, no, I don't remember what exactly on EQ we got banned for, but we had already quit by the time that they banned us. It was because we got an admin dragon landed on our walls and over our walls and decided they were going to, like, they immediately went to conflict with us with characters that had never spoken. Like, that was what it was. And then we left because basically they broke raid etiquette. We were like, we're done. And there was other weird stuff on that server too, but like, EQ never came back. Remember, Rep got a ban for a totally different reason or something like that, and I was like, I'm not going back to a server. It breaks their own rules. Like, I'm good, thanks. Hey, bye. But you know, it's like there's a lot of those old servers that were around and then they're gone. Like, I know Weavers was around for years and years and years and years and years, and they had many seasons. And I think something happened, like, and this is just like second or third hand story. I don't know who or if it's true or not. But like, I think like the person who ran Weavers like retired or died, or I don't know. Just they weren't running it anymore, and so like this server arrived, and you know, Lost Legends or Lost Lotus or Lotus or whatever the other big one that never was in like the circle of servers I ran on also stopped launching. They're not live anymore either. So like, but what's so weird is they don't make you do a character sheet, just like a white lace app. I'm so used to like having to do character sheets and then having nothing to do with anything anymore, and they're like, well, you gotta tell us more about your character whenever you put a ticket in, which is so wild. But like, I don't know. Just ranting, I guess. Back but not started. I don't know. Like I said, I think there's just been like a lot of like churn, I guess I would call it, on servers, where like a server comes up and it goes like a season or two and then it don't go no more and something happens and all the staff leaves or all the players leave. It's really weird, but you know how like Conan players are. They're very sensitive. How do I get is where I need. Like, but I mean, and I can't even say that, like, because I'm sensitive too, but like, people get weird about lots of weird stuff, and I'm like, okay. So, new server, who this? New server, new character, new group. We'll see. This is a fully melee build too. Like, I am not playing Magic, which is crazy because I've played Magic so many times in a row. Mention it because I don't have someone I can talk to about things like that since the groups have shifted. Well, yeah. It's so weird, right? Everybody's got a story. Everybody's got a story. Going in a proper break. Well, she's back now. She went and played Dune with me, and she played Dune longer than I played Dune. And we didn't play with DVS, but we played with a sister clan of DVS called Cursed, who maybe you remember Cursed and Fritzy from Darkside, because they played on Darkside. That's where they were originally founded. Ah, fuck. I didn't mean to go into the zone down here. But we played with Cursed on Dune, on Official, and we were PvP menaces. And then I just got tired of it eventually. My husband even played it for a while, and he really liked it. He's playing in Shrouded. Everybody else in my house. But like, yeah. Dune, we played Dune since June, so it was like June, July, all of August. About 3 months we played, which is quite a long time. It's like a full season. I will say it did not have nearly as much content as Atlas did. Bit of a bummer, but what are you gonna do? And the way they did their content was very weird, right? Like they didn't separate PvP and PvE. They put everybody together. They didn't make PvE and PvP servers. They were like, well, PvP will be in the deep desert. And then that's where they put the endgame materials, and all the PvEers were like, well, they're just griefing all the people. And I'm like, well, there's the only PvP zone in the game is the deep desert. It's the endgame PvP. Maybe you don't need the endgame PvP gear for PvE, but then they bitched and they shrunk the deep desert, and then still it actually made it worse. Strangely enough, shrinking the PvP zone and giving the half of it to PvE made the problem worse. It did not help. It made it easier, not harder, to find PvEers to grief them. And oh yes, they were definitely griefed. But like, you got to a certain point, like, there wasn't any content left in the game. There was no long-term war function like Myth of Empires had. There was no conquest or raiding system. Like, Conan had a raiding system. There was no raiding. The raids had a 5-minute window where you could raid, and then you couldn't do damage to structures anymore. And it was terrible. I was like, I don't understand why this is how this is set up. Like, it feels bad. It feels really bad. But, you know. Well, that's the other thing. Like, I think I'll probably RP the game. But, like, right now there's not a huge amount of content. What are we talking about? Oh, we were talking about why I've been away and where Sissy's been. We've been playing Dune, right? On official PvP. And we're talking about, like, I kind of got bored after we did all the things. And we took us... Okay, I think the piece to resistance of not giving a fuck in PvP was we took a sandcrawler out. Dune was actually very fun. It was very, very, very fun. The PvP was very enjoyable. It was just hard to get. We took a sandcrawler out, 3 sandcrawlers out simultaneously while actively being attacked by like 20 or 30 other fucking Thopters, and farmed successfully. We only lost 1 sandcrawler, and that was because a worm sky glitched into the air and ate it. And I was like, that's not how worms are supposed to work. You are not a Dune enjoyer? Why? Man, I loved the ground PvP. And I loved the flight PvP. It was very fun. Yo. Yeah, the flying worm ate one of our sandcrawlers, and it was just wild. And they were like, I can't believe these people are going to bring out 3 sandcrawlers, like, when there's a faction actually attacking them. We're like, bet, bitches. Come on. Come on. Let's see you try. And they got no success out of it all. Yeah, flying worm meta. funky gun and fighting combat. Well, I mean, I don't know. Gun combat only works when you're trying to control a zone. 90% of it is all melee. But I mean, my god, if you got a good gun support when you're like in a ground fight, whoo boy, they can fucking hurt you. And they're good chasers. Chasing was also one of the, like, you had to be built for chase. That was a very specific build. It was a Benny build. But towards the end of it, it became, Grav Belt became the meta. It was, and if you had good partners, just, somebody, like 2 or 3 people you could work with really well, the stagger chaining you could do was insane. So, like, if you were 1v3'd and if that you were 1v3 and actually knew how to stagger chain, you were fucked. But, like, I could 1v3 people who didn't know what they were doing very, very easy. I think we did a tournament, like a PvP tournament, which was really funny. I had like 10 people in it. I came in like 3rd, and one of my other crewmates came in 2nd, and then this other guy who nobody's ever met before, never seen in the PvPs, who came in 1st. We're like, we don't know where you came from. It was very weird. But I really enjoyed the ground PvP until the end, where the ground PvP became Ancient Way meta, and I was like, this is awful. Because it was just rocket spam. And it was so terrible. Ask Cecelia. She'll tell you about how fucking terrible the rocket spam got to the end. It was awful. What? But I enjoyed it. I didn't stream it because Lord knows we would have been stream sniped all the time. And I don't really like to stream official PvP games. I have in the past. But you always get stream sniped. And then you have to do funky things with your Discord comms. And I liked to be in Discord comms and just not have to give a shit, like, about who was listening. Because we didn't have people listening. I wasn't streaming. I also really, really enjoyed the aerial combat. And I don't know if you ever got to experience, like a 20-person aerial fight. Those things were so much fun. They were so fun. I don't know how to get heat. I'm really far off of where I think I need. Yeah. The aerial fights were, you needed to be up, because it was very hard to tell who was who. And, like, you could very easily, in a big faction v faction fight, you could very easily sneak in a ship with the other clan's colors and just wreak havoc. Because there was no markers. That was the thing. The only markers you had was your squad, which is a 4-man. And it was so much fun. No, but Sissy and I spent so much time just doing, maybe I should stop moving. Just doing like internal PvP practice for ground fighting. Amazing. Amazing. I love it. That's not it. Oh, jeez, what's the server password? Oh, no. That up real quick. I don't remember if the password shows or not. Why is it telling me I have to update stuff? Oh, no. No. That was weird. Why is it, what? What happened? What happened? I need to like snap a picture of this because it's telling me all my mods